What if I told you that the same person that owns the oldest cafe in all of Paris also owns dozens of Burger Kings? I'm in Paris, France, where I've just uncovered a story of a badass acquisition entrepreneur who illustrates perfectly how to stack strategic acquisitions to build an empire. This guy, Olivier Bertrand, got his start in vending machines in the 1990s and today owns over 800 restaurants, almost all of which were acquired, okay? Including Le Procope, the oldest cafe in all of Paris. It was frequented by intellectuals like Rousseau, Voltaire, and Ben Franklin. Today, Bertrand is worth over 1 billion euros. So how did this guy go from vending machines to a 10-figure net worth? I've got his 3-step playbook that we're gonna break down for you today. My name's Walker Deibel. I'm the Wall Street Journal bestselling author of Buy Then Build, creator of Acquisition Lab. Let's get into it. Today, Le Procope is stylish and illustrates its illustrious, rich history. But at the time Bertrand bought it, that was not the case. Cafe culture was out of style, EBITDA was down, and the business was potentially even suffering. So why would he buy it? Because he saw value in an intangible asset, the prestige. He was able to acquire the oldest cafe in all of Paris, one that was, frequented by all of these intellectuals, and he leaned into it. As many entrepreneurs would have bought it and modernized it and whatever, he did the opposite. What he valued was the prestige and authority that it would give him in his career and his business. Le Procope is infamous for being the oldest business in all of Paris, okay? So step one, acquire undervalued intangible assets. But you can't build a business just on intangibles. This whole strategy might not have worked if Bertrand hadn't done what he did next, okay, which was buy a ton of mid-sized brasseries around Paris and a bunch of McDonald's franchises, okay? And he ultimately acquired Burger King France, okay? So step two is if you think of your business as an empire, okay? You understand that you can use, things like prestige and attraction of, assets like Le Procope, but ultimately you need a piece of your empire that generates cash. And so with the McDonald's, with the Burger King, he was able to turn them into the cash flow engine so that everyone in Paris, wherever they're eating, likely are eating at one of Bertrand's restaurants. The restaurant business is hard, so how was Bertrand able to stack profits along with his cafes? Ultimately, it was his industry focus. So even though he was able to build a portfolio of 800 companies and 30 brands, he was able to focus just on restaurants. And as a result, he was able to build inroads and an edge that others simply couldn't deliver on. Everything from hiring top management to building operational efficiencies and pricing power. Okay, and so even though he had a huge portfolio, he was able to bring that focus to build inroads that others can't reach. Okay, so let's recap. Step one, look for intangible assets and acquire them cheaply. Step two, build a cash machine. Step three, okay, stay focused. This is actually, I share this often with people in Acquisition Lab. One of the worst decisions I ever made, okay, was buying like 8 companies over a couple of year period. And the reason was because they were in 3 different verticals. Whereas, when I look at Bertrand, what he did was he was able to use his focus to build those inroads and that strategic advantage in the industry. And it was that focus that created a flywheel for him that now got him to a $1 billion net worth, billion euro. Listen, if you're considering buying an existing business, check out Acquisition Lab. We engineered the single highest performing acquisition accelerator in the world, okay? Today, with over 1,000 vetted members, we have a 37% member to acquisition ratio, which blows away any of the copycat programs out there. I actually launched the Entrepreneurship Through Acquisition program at the Olin School of Business, where I tested a lot of the content before I later refined it for self-funded searchers and people wanting to do it on their own, okay? Then as I mentioned, we focus on a truly vetted community. Only about 25 to 30% of applicants are extended an invitation to enroll, okay? It just sort of, elevates the conversation and moves us forward towards actual execution, okay? On top of that, obviously we've got all the tools and resources and all the things that you need. We've got 12 advisors on staff, private Slack channel. We've got coaching advisory calls every single day of the work week, I believe, at this point. And look, it's just been a lot of fun to build this community that is having so much impact. Okay, so we'll see you on the inside.